President Trump, sir, your message to the people of Ukraine as world leaders gather here today.
First of all, Mr. President Zelensky, you look fabulous in that suit.
I said the same thing.
Yeah, you look good.
I said the same thing.
Yeah, looks good on
I
you.
said to the one that attacked you last time. See, now he's, I remember that.
Yeah, I apologize to you. You look wonderful.
President Trump is at that point so committed to the idea of arriving at a peace settlement in Ukraine that he will go an extra mile to be nicer to people than otherwise he would have been, right? I don't think he has any great appreciation for President Zelensky. I think it's pretty clear that their relationship is actually quite problematic and there's friction there. And he continues, by the way, to threaten Zelensky in his tweets on Truth Social. But I think for the sake of getting things done, he held himself back, as it were, and decided to spare us the drama in the show that we had the last time around that Zelensky turned up in the Oval Office.
President Putin, will you agree to a ceasefire?
Mr. President, what's your message to Vladimir Putin?
Mr. Putin, did you underestimate Ukraine? President Putin, will you stop killing?
Russia emerged from this couple of days energized. Putin has come back home thinking that he has scored a major victory without really paying the price for it. What does this victory amount to? Well, he got the glory and the recognition of being there next to President Trump and showing to the Europeans, which is very important, that he cannot be isolated. The message that is now being beamed to the Russian domestic audiences is, look, they in Europe try to isolate us, they try to shun us, but here we are back on the international stage in a major kind of way. So this is a very positive image for President Putin. We are today in a situation where Russian-American relations seem to have escaped from the state of being on the brink of some kind of nuclear war. And that sounds crazy, but think about the fall of 2022 and the nuclear scare that we experienced at that time, which is a real thing. We still don't understand fully what happened, but there was a fear in Washington at that time that Putin would resort to tactical nuclear weapons, and there was a lot of nuclear rhetoric. Where is all of that? That's all gone out of the window. So just by maintaining this kind of dialogue, it seems that we have diffused the situation, or he, not we, President Trump has been able to diffuse the situation a little bit, and that's a good thing. Well, the most interesting thing for me is what has happened to the whole economic component. This was supposed to be a key element of pressure on Russia. And of course, President Trump himself has promised dire consequences. No, he said severe. He said severe consequences. If the Russians don't agree to end the war, there would be severe consequences. He said that on the way to Alaska in his conversation with reporters. What do we have after Alaska? Nothing. Absolutely nothing in terms of any kind of further threats of additional sanctions on the part of the United States. Trump goes there promising, fire and hell for Russia if it did not actually go along and make tangible concessions. Russia does not make tangible concessions. Nothing happens. Is that the first time? No, it has happened before. President Trump would make threats against Russia and then back off from those threats. So he does come out of this whole meeting looking kind of weak. That's true. If nonetheless he manages somehow to give birth to that peace treaty or something that will eventually end this war, then I think we'll all have to say, well, look, okay, this was something that had to be accepted at the time.
That was not a great day. See the picture. Is everything okay? You all set? Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.